Before we get today's video started, I told y'all it's my new favorite Texas Tech shirt, and I had to rock it in today's video. Be sure to go get yours over at homefieldapparel.com. Listen, this isn't the only shirt they have over there. They've got the tortilla toss. They've got the baseball three-quarter sleeves, a plethora of hoodies. Go over to homefieldapparel.com and use the promo code BACK212 to save 15% off your entire purchase. Hey, listen. College football season's well on its way into the season, and college basketball is right around the corner. Go get your new favorite Texas Tech shirt over at homefieldapparel.com. All right, let's jump into today's video. It'll be the 3 keys to the game for the Red Raiders to get back to 500 and win their, third game of the year, hopefully, down in Waco, Texas against the Baylor Bears. Now, there's a lot going on here in this one, and both of these teams really need this win, right? There's a huge difference between going 3-3 midway through the year and 2-4. Bowl eligibility becomes downright damn near impossible when you're 2-4 in the Big 12, considering the schedules both of these teams have in front of them. But 3-3, all right, you've got a pretty damn good chance at making it happen. Before we jump in to the first key of the game, like the video if you haven't already for more free daily Texas Tech videos. We're giving you game previews. We're giving you 3 keys to the game, film breakdown, so much more. And it helps when we've got a guy like Lyle Leong Jr. that's been on that Texas Tech gridiron himself, breaking down the intricacies of every Texas Tech football game this year. There's no one else like him in this Texas Tech space. So if you want to stay in the know on Texas Tech football and men's basketball all year long, simply like the video. It really does help us out. All right, let's jump into key number 1. I used it last week, and damn it, I'm going to use it again this week. Run the damn ball a lot. Listen, first and foremost, let's get it out of the way. Thanks, Captain Obvious RC. We didn't need to watch the video to know that. Well, that's true, but I bet you didn't know how bad Baylor was at stopping the run. You thought Houston was bad last weekend? No. We got another thing coming this week, okay? Listen, the Baylor Bear run defense is dead last in the Big 12. Houston is second to last. Funny enough, Texas Tech is third to last, right? But you look at this, Baylor ranks dead last in the Big 12 conference in rushing yards allowed per game this season with 184. I mentioned Houston as the next closest. They average 163.6. Last weekend, Texas Tech ran for 239 yards on Houston. Listen, I get it. The offensive line has not lived up to expectations when it comes to pass blocking. Who gives a damn this week? You give the ball to Tahj Brooks, and yes, I know what you're saying. RC, you're going to see 7, 8-man fronts. A key to the game. We'll talk about that later for the Texas Tech offense. But you have to give Tahj Brooks, I usually say 18-plus touches. Give him 20-plus touches in this one. I want to see Cameron Valdez get in that range of 10 to 12 as well, right? You need to assert your dominance if you are the Red Raiders in this one with the ground game first and foremost. Come out there and see if Baylor can make the necessary adjustments to what they've done early on in this year through 5 games, which is really nothing in terms of stopping the run, which is shocking to me in terms of a Dave Aranda defense. That is one thing that I thought Dave Aranda was going to have a chokehold on when it came to Baylor, and that was run defense and just defense in general. But in terms of what he's done this year, it has not been great for Baylor, specifically on the ground. Texas Tech has to come out and really assert their dominance with Tahj Brooks and Cameron Valdez early and often in this one. All right, you tell me before we get into key number 2, how many rushing yards will Texas Tech run for against Baylor in week 6? Let me know. Are they going to go the Houston route in 239? I don't know about all that. But are they going to get to 200? Let me know as a team, not just Tahj Brooks. How many yards will Texas Tech rush for this weekend in Waco? All right, let's get to key number 2 of the game, and it is Take 3 University has to show up. So far this season, Texas Tech has created 7 turnovers. Funny enough, 4 of them have actually come on the road where Texas Tech struggles, right? Texas Tech has to win the turnover battle in Waco, simple and plain, if they want to win this game. And I know what you're thinking also. RC, they did the same thing up in Morgantown, and they didn't win the game. Listen, I'm not giving a team a pass in that situation, but you got to understand there's something to that in terms of Tyler Shutt going out. And then we don't know exactly when Baron Morton hurt his shoulder up in Morgantown. Now, we know it's an AC joint sprain, not giving a pass, just bringing circumstances to the forefront here, right? That doesn't really matter in terms of why Texas Tech lost that game. There were a multitude of reasons. But the take three aspect of it is this. Texas Tech has to win the turnover battle, specifically on the road, to give them a better chance to win. Just because, again, they are 1-6 under Joey McGuire when they don't play at Jones AT&T Stadium. 1-6, right? So you have to think about that, okay? And so Baylor quarterback Blake Shapen has yet to throw an interception in the 2 games that he started. Now, Lubbock native Sawyer Robertson, he has 4 in the 2 games that he started. To be fair, he did play Utah, which is a tough defense to play. But Blake Shapen last year threw 10 picks, right? I think Blake Shapen's a solid quarterback, but he's a gunslinger, right? He likes to throw the ball into tight windows and probably make some passes that you shouldn't. The veteran secondary for Texas Tech has to create a turnover or 2 in this one, while the pass rush needs to create some kind of pressure. And I know what you're thinking as well. And I know I've also said that 3 times already in this video. It's probably a record at this point. But Texas Tech has to create pressure on Blake Shapen. And they haven't done a lot of that this year. But you think the Texas Tech offensive line has been bad in pass pro. Look at Baylor, okay? This season, right, they've allowed 12 sacks on the year. Texas Tech has allowed 13. So they're kind of in a similar vein when it comes to they can't pass block very well, right? And you're going to see Richard Reese, obviously, in this one. You're going to see Dominic Richardson out of the Baylor backfield as well, right? Like they're going to use their running backs just like Texas Tech will. But you have to create at least 2 turnovers, hopefully 3 if you're the Red Raiders, in the sense of having a much improved chance to win this game and get that elusive second win for Joey McGuire on the road. All right, give me a number. The Texas Tech defense will create blank turnovers in Waco against the Baylor Bears this weekend. My gut tells me 2. Will that be enough? I'm not sure, but I expect Blake Shapen to throw at least 1 pick this weekend. All right, we're circling back to the offense here, and I told y'all earlier, those 7-8 man boxes. How is Texas Tech going to go against that and really use it to their advantage? Here we go. The play-action vertical passing game. Texas Tech has to use the play-action passing game to stretch the defense because simple and plain, again, you are going to have 7, maybe even 8 guys in the box at one time. Now, they may drift back or whatever it may be into coverage. But you know if you're Baron Morton in that situation and there's 8 guys in the box, you got one-on-ones, right? And there's something to be said for that. By using the play-action passing game, you put their defense on their respective heels and create those one-on-one matchups that I was just talking about. Why is that such a big deal? Because you've got guys like Loic Fungi, 6'4". Then you got Jerron Bradley, 6'5". You got Miles Price, guy that can create separation in terms of those intermediate routes, right? You also can throw your tight end out there after a hedge block, blocking him into the offensive line. If he needs to stay back and block, by all means, but maybe he can slip out, and be in the flat. You have a 6'9" or 6'6" tight end in Baylor Cup or Mason Tharp out there, right? You create options for Baron Morton and a guy that has shown he can throw the ball outside into tight windows when you give him the opportunity, specifically with bigger wide receivers or playmakers, right? So I want to see this happen again. I'm not navigating away from Tahj Brooks being the centerpiece. I'm actually encouraging them to use Tahj Brooks more so this can happen in terms of those potential big plays down the field that Texas Tech will inevitably need against the Baylor Bears to hopefully go back to Lubbock, Texas at 3-3, getting ready for a big-time matchup next weekend against K-State in a game that if you win this one in Baylor, and it's all about 1-0 this week, right, you could have a potential shot to go to 4-3 at home because we know the Red Raiders play like a top 25, top 35 team at home. It's crazy. They play at Jones AT&T Stadium like they're one of the best teams almost, it feels like, in the country. Prime example, Oregon, right? Self-inflicted wounds. It is what it is, right? But then they go on the road, and it looks like a completely, vastly different team. Can that change at Baylor? I think this is going to be one of those keys for Texas Tech in the sense that, hey, you have to get vertical on this so you can open up and get more people out of the box for Tahj Brooks and Cameron Valdez to be effective. Before we head out of here, here's the current spread. Baylor -1.5 Total is 57.5. There is my prediction. I've got Baylor 31, Texas Tech 30. Let me know your score prediction down below in the comments. And before we get out of here, one more time, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button for free daily Texas Tech football news and updates all year long. We're giving you game previews. That's on the channel. That'll be linked down below as well. 3 keys to the game, film breakdown, behind enemy lines, and so much more. And one more time, go get your new favorite Texas Tech shirt over at Home Field Apparel. All you have to do is use the code BACK212 to get 15% off all of your new favorite Texas Tech gear. I'm RC Maxfield. We'll catch you next time here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.